Hello, Internet. How we doing tonight? I apologize, folks. I'm late. I know it, and my dog's going to be mad. I forgot to feed him. It's past her. It is past dinner time. I'm sorry, Scarlett. Are you upset with me? I know. I'm sorry. I can't feed you for another hour now. You're going to be really mad. All right. Can you go lay down? I know. Everything's all out of whack. Oh, you got me. Come on. Come lay down. Oh, that was gross. Go lay down. Good girl. All right, folks. How is everybody this evening? I apologize. I've been dealing with my stupid Subaru all day. It's still broken down on on the same street, and the neighbors that live there aren't too pleased with it. But I've talked to them and smoothed things over a little bit. It's a normal car. It's not anyway. They're not too pleased. It's been sitting there for like 2 weeks. All right, how is everyone? B Sizzo, Casey Martin, V1800. Nice to see you guys. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. Has everybody got a case of the Mondays? You guys off to a good week, or how are we doing? Are we sad? We good? Things happy? Things aren't happy in Texas. Not at the border anyway. Very frustrating, folks. And we'll get into it. We got plenty to talk about. I'm going to try and only go about an hour tonight, but yeah, I'll probably go over. I'll probably go a little bit over. We got plenty of stuff that I want to get into, but before we do, Provo Planet, nice to see you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, before we get into anything, if you guys could tap that like button, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Links in bio. You know the drill. All right, let's get into some things, talk about some stuff. I was all excited earlier because Texas is really putting their foot down with the border stuff. And, you know, I was pleased to see, and I was excited. That's all. I was just excited. And, well, I'm not excited anymore. Well, let's look why. Let's go over to End Wokeness here on the Twitters. And, yeah, just get right into things. So I was, pleased earlier because Texas is putting up all these Connex boxes and putting up razor wired stuff, and they're locking down the border like they should be doing. And well, you guys saw what happened. I'll play this quick clip. This is what it was looking like a few hours ago. And well, things have changed since then if you guys haven't heard. But this is what it looked like a few hours ago.
That was a case about a mile upstream from Shelby Park, where we met a pair of migrants named Edwin and Wilmer from Guatemala who said they were looking for another area to cross where they wouldn't be immediately arrested. Ahora, ¿cuál es el plan? What's your plan right now? To go look for Border Patrol?
Que nos tomen, intentar entregarnos, no sé, a migración nos dijeron.
What they just said is that they're walking along the border here. They're looking for Border Patrol agents so that they can surrender to them. They're going to keep going upstream here. Obviously.
How weird is this situation? I mean, aside from the fact that it's just wrong, how weird is it that you've got the Texas police government essentially saying, no, you can't come in here. This is our border with Mexico. And you've got the United States government that are essentially facilitating human trafficking and facilitating the invasion of our country. Like, really actively helping it happen. It's really a mind-boggling situation going on. And it's very clear to everybody that, people are trying to spin it like Republicans aren't voting for certain things. There's no denying that this wasn't happening under Trump. Everybody can see this wasn't happening under Trump. New York City, DeSantis and Greg Abbott weren't sending illegals to all these sanctuary cities. This wasn't happening under Trump. Everybody can see this. You can try to spin it any way you want. People aren't that stupid. Well, some are, but not most people aren't buying this crap. It's just such a crazy situation.
See, they can't cross here because of the barbed wire. Those responsible for the enforcement here say it's working, with numbers of crossings dramatically dropping. But for migrant advocates and Eagle Pass residents like America Garcia, this scale of operation is just too heavy-handed.
I would not have expected that this was possible in a democratic country.
That was a case about a...
Thought what was possible? defending our borders in a Okay.
Mile upstream from Shelby Park, where we met a pair of migrants named Edwin and Wilmer from Guatemala who say they were looking for another area to cross where they wouldn't be immediately arrested. Ahora, ¿cuál es el plan? What's your plan right now? To go look for Border Patrol?
Que ellos nos tomen, intentar entregarnos.
All right, sorry, I'm playing it again. Okay, well, I was all excited because Texas was really putting their foot down, and then this came out today. So, let me check over here really quick. Make sure I'm in the right view. Nope, I'm not in the right view. Let's see. Genaro Aguilar. Genaro. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Federal government does not have any authority to control the border of immigration. What? The federal government does not have any authority to control the borders of immigration. No, they have the exact authority to do that. The sad part is they allowed this to happen when Trump was in office and will allow it to happen again once he's back in office. I'm not sure. Are you saying they're subverting him? Is that what you're saying? Coach's Millennial, nice to see you. Let's see here. Yeah, let me get out of this view. Sorry, I apologize. I want my head to be bigger. Okay, thanks. All right, let me go back to that. Okay, so Supreme Court, they said, "Hey, Texas, you can't do that. Hey, Texas, you have to open the border back up." And Amy Coney Barrett was one of the people that voted for this. So it was a 5-4 ruling. The dissenters were Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh. You know who you'd expect. The Amy Coney Barrett is not looking like a good pick right about now. Not at all. And so that came out just a few hours before the show started, and it really put a damper in my spirits. I'm not sure what's going to happen. it looks like they're already lifting the razor wire. So this is from Colin Rogue. He's saying, breaking, the Supreme Court has ruled 5-4 that the Border Patrol agents are allowed to remove the razor wire installed by Texas. So the Supreme Court is ruling that Texas can't do that, and the Border Patrol can remove it. And what happens if Texas says no? This is escalation. It's crazy. A Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court you're really ruling against the United States. My brain can't fathom this. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Amy Coney Barrett also, she ruled that the Biden administration could not enforce private companies with 100 employees or more to force their employees to have the vaccine mandate. But he did say that it's okay for hospitals to force their employees to take the experimental COVID-19 mRNA gene therapy. He did say this. She did say that it was okay for hospitals to do that. And then she did say it's okay for the United States government to force its military to take the experimental mRNA gene therapy. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure she ruled that was okay. And these three decisions together, it's like 3 strikes you're out. She is no good in my book. If you're ruling that the Border Patrol we have a border with Mexico, and we have agents that patrol it, the Border Patrol. Their job, I thought, was to patrol the border to keep people from crossing over the border. But apparently their job has become being like TSA at the border, except they don't search anyone very well, and they don't vet anyone, and everybody dumps their ID at the border before they get here. And then when they get here, they get a cell phone, money, and they send them to a nice cushy hotel. Am I getting this right? Do I have that correct? I'm not sure. Let's check back with the chat here. Dig and Stoner, nice to see. You have to follow. You had to unfollow on Rumble to get me back. No, don't do that. Gennaro, immigration is a state's issue, not a federal one. No, it's a federal issue. At the United States border is, I mean, that's all federal stuff. I mean, if you're making an argument that it should be a state's issue, I could, I could entertain that argument, but it's definitely a federal issue, the United States border. The federal government is supposed to be subordinate to the states and not the other way around, except for in federal matters. And it's the United States border, I agree that Texas should be able to tell the Border Patrol to kick rocks. I agree that the Texas National Guard should tell the Border Patrol to kick rocks, and they should just protect their own border. Like I agree with you in terms of the morality behind it and everything, but the federal government does supersede. That is I see your argument. Like, I guess I would be arguing the point of what the Supreme Court just ruled right now, that the federal government, but so I would argue that the federal government, its only job in this capacity would be to protect the border, and they are shirking their constitutional duty to protect this nation by not enforcing any border laws. And this whole thing ruling that Texas can go ahead and lift the razor wire to not protect our border, this whole thing doesn't jive with me. It doesn't make any logical sense to me. Casey Martin, this is actually a disastrous decision for the Brandon administration. Apocalyptic. Like for voting wise, I mean, Biden's already doing. Nobody likes Biden. The 1800. It's a great idea to have a strong female originalist justice. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I'm kind of slow. 6079 Provo sent you. Nice. I like it. All right, let's get back to stuff. Okay, so that's from Colin Rugg, and there's just another picture. Here's four of the justices. All the chicks voted to open up the border. Just saying, all the chicks voted for it. Just pointing that out. Thomas Massey. So he's probably got the best point with this whole thing. He says, who could fix this? Literally overruled the Supreme Court and the White House on the Texas v. Biden dispute? Congress. In fact, it was explained to a group of us by Justice Scalia during breakfast at Capitol Hill brunch. He told us to quit funding things we don't like. So he's saying that Congress could change this. I don't know. This whole situation is just stupid. It's so freaking stupid. It's obvious to everybody that we should be protecting our border. Somebody needs to explain rationally what's happening here. Obviously, remember when they used to call it migrant caravans? They don't even call it that anymore because it's just a continuous flood of people. It's not migrant caravans anymore. Remember, that used to be a thing. They used to call it migrant caravans. It's not a caravan anymore because it's just an endless flow of traffic. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, and it doesn't make any logical sense to anybody. But it's not like we don't just have open borders. They're still technically illegal. They're still people trying to get their citizenship. Nothing makes sense. There's people trying to get their citizenship, but if you come here illegally, you can get like a driver's license. Santa Ana, California is trying to make it legal so you can vote. You're counted in the census. You're given a bunch of stuff. Why would anybody try to become a citizen? And somebody, I can't remember who was talking about it earlier, but they pointed out, we have this whole legal immigration process here. Could it be better? Could it be more streamlined? Sure, absolutely. But what it does is it really makes it so in order to become a United States citizen, you really got to want it. You really got to go through all the steps. You got to learn a lot of stuff. You got to want it. And it really does sort of, for lack of a better term, weed out the riffraff. You get all the countries coming here from all over the world. You kind of get everyone's best. You get the people that want to come here for the right reasons. Liberty. Like, that's really what everybody should be coming to America for. Liberty. The equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome, equality of opportunity. That's sort of the American dream thing. You know, if you work hard enough, you can make it. It's becoming less and less true all the time as we become more of a socialist country, but that's neither here nor there. All right. I just sort of threw this in at the end of this segment. There's just a clip from the Breakfast Club. This is Charlemagne talking to what's his face? Piers Morgan. And Trump derangement syndrome is real. Trump derangement syndrome is absolutely real. It amazes me how there's people that like talk politics for a living. They talk this kind of stuff for a living. And they're like Bill Maher, and how clueless they are, how absolutely clueless they are. Like Bill Maher the other day talking to Roseanne, he didn't know who Klaus Schwab was or something like that. These people can't really be that clueless. And that's kind of how this conversation with Piers Morgan was. Charlemagne the God. Radio Foreman, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. This Gennaro, this is the side effect of too much nationalism. Yeah, I'd like to see what you're getting at more, because I think you got some solid. I'm pretty sure you got some solid, well thought out points, but I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're getting at. Congress, that's a funny name. China owns. Migrants don't carry their own country's flags as they walk into your country. Invaders do. Okay. All right. Well, let's listen to Charlemagne God talking to Piers Morgan really quick, because it's shocking people don't know how awful Barack Obama of a president, how bad of a president he was. If you're like especially if you're anti-war, pro-free speech. I mean, dude, locked up journalists and dropped bombs. It's like, that's what he did. And it's amazing how people still look at him in such high esteem. And anyway, let's listen to Charlemagne and Piers Morgan talking about like Trump versus Obama. And when you stack them up side by side on paper, Trump was a way better president than Obama. Sorry, he was.
You mentioned Obama. So this is an interesting little question I will throw people. Interesting if you guys know the answer. How many illegal immigrants, did Barack Obama deport in his 8 years as president?
Oh, I don't know.
Have a guess.
No clue.
No clue. Interesting, right? You don't know.
I mean, I know it was a lot, but I don't know the exact number.
Have a guess.
Oh, I don't know.
Give me a number.
I actually have read that it's more than Trump.
Give me a number.
I really don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
8 years. 8 years. How many?
I don't know.
How many people did he physically have deported in 8 years?
I have no idea.
Well, give me a number. You don't want it, do you?
No, I really don't know. I really don't know even where to begin. I don't know if it's tens of thousands, millions. I don't know where to begin.
Millions.
But I've read that it was more than Trump.
The answer is over 3 million.
Damn.
He was known as deporter in chief by Mexicans.
Yes. And that was more than Trump did.
He deported way more than Trump.
I
He
read
deported way more pro rata than any president in history. Who dropped the most bombs in a calendar year in American history?
Oh, come on. President Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, right? Including drone programs and so on, right? Who got elected in 0809 on shutting down Guantanamo Bay? Because as a former lawyer, he believed it was an illegal institution.
President
Barack
Barack
Obama.
Yeah.
What is still open today?
Guantanamo Bay.
Correct, right? Etc., etc., etc. So I know that the general thing is Obama angel, Trump devil.
Right.
But if you actually apply the scrutiny that we give Trump, put it this way: if Trump had deported 3 million people, you think you guys wouldn't know that answer? Of course you would, right?
And back to the journalist front thing. Like, remember what Assange got locked up for? Yeah, Trump could have pardoned him. and that's like my number one complaint with Trump, that he didn't pardon Assange. But what was the main thing? What I think that he's still behind bars for, there's like the whole Chelsea Manning thing and all that crap, but the Podesta emails, like all that crap, the stuff that went down at the White House when Obama ordered all them pizza and hot dogs. That's why I think Assange is still locked up.
Nobody knows that answer because nobody thought that way about Saint Barack. And I think that he wasn't Saint Barack and Trump isn't the devil. Trump has a more devilish way of talking and he has to be held absolutely to account. And it's a very good argument to say after what happened on January the 6th, he shouldn't be allowed to run again, but he is allowed to run again. And if
no, there isn't a good argument for that, Pierce. There absolutely is not. Just need to correct you there.
But he can be convicted of a crime before the election and still be allowed to run as president.
That's insane.
And he could actually go to prison and still be president of the United States constitutionally from a prison cell.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not my constitution. These aren't my rules. This is the reality. So I'm not sitting here saying you should vote for Trump. I'm not defending Trump, I think, irrationally. I'm simply presenting a slightly fairer argument about why Trump is now back in the position he's in and why he could win again than some people want to present because they think it doesn't suit them politically to say that. You did vote him in 2016. I didn't, right? And I know Trump very, very well.
Stop rubbing it in.
No, but it's on you, right? It's on you. And
I didn't vote for him.
And all I see.
Why are people still saying this? Like there's still like this residual TDS, this residual Trump derangement syndrome. If you voted for Biden in 2020, you should be so much more ashamed of your vote than if you voted for Donald Trump. And that should be very clear to everyone. Just so many things. Just Afghanistan alone. It's kind of two new giant wars. The economy is trashed. Biden was way more authoritarian with the COVID stuff. Yeah, Trump got anyway. You should be way more ashamed of a Biden vote. And then this, I didn't vote for Trump. It's okay if you voted for Trump. You can admit that now. You can say it out loud. You can, if you're a Californian, it's okay to come out of the closet now. I say this all the time. It is so much more dangerous to be in the closet California conservative than it is to be in the closet gay, bi, trans, whatever. You're way more safe coming out of the closet as any of those things than you are coming out of the closet as a conservative in California. And tell me I'm wrong. Everyone knows that's true. You are physical danger. You are in more physical danger coming out as a conservative in California than you are coming out as gay, lesbian, bi, or trans, or whatever. You know I'm right.
Now is the Democrats whining about Trump's comeback. One of the reasons he's soaring back is because there's such a perceived weakness in Biden. Biden's approval ratings are shocking.
Democrats suck.
Shocking, right?
Yeah,
no
suck.
Incumbent president, I think, has ever been reelected with these approval numbers. So this is, if the country, most people in America think the country's going the wrong way. Most of them are feeling economic hardships. Most of them, have all sorts of problems with the way the country's been run. And they think back to Trump and they think for all the garbage that comes out of his mouth, they look at the way he handled the economy until the pandemic and they think, actually, we were better off under Trump. They look at his foreign policy and they think, actually, we didn't start poking our nose in all over the place with wars here, left, right, and center. And they like that. Most Americans I've spoken to, they think he took immigration a lot more seriously, for example, than Biden seems to be doing. The situation
everything you're saying
situation on the southern border is catastrophic.
Everything you're saying is absolutely right, and the polls show it. What happened in Iowa shows it. You're preaching to the choir. When you say to me, Charlemagne, though, just to pull you up, when you say to me, I don't think you believe a word of what you're saying, all I'm doing is presenting facts, right? I'm not launching a campaign for Trump. I push back on just be more empathetic. It's like, he's done.
Only because I've seen him be that. And he has that in his locker.
When people show you who they are, you got to believe. We've seen enough of Trump to know who he is.
I agree. And Trump, good, bad, and ugly, is who he is. He's not going to change at 77, right? He's not. So you know what you're getting. You know what you're voting for this time. If America votes him in again, it's because they want to.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Right? You can't get away from that.
That's right.
And by the way, his popularity amongst African Americans is rising as Biden's falls.
Mhm.
That's incredible.
Is it
I remember when Biden came on.
So just the border alone, it should be very clear that Trump gets back in office, the border situation at a bare minimum will be, I mean, one of the biggest problems with the border situation is that so many people are coming to the border. If word gets out Trump's coming back in office, people know the border's going to get shut down. People are going to stop coming here so much. That alone Charlemagne should say, yeah, I would vote for Trump over Biden. He already said he would vote for Biden again. It's just, I mean, I get it if you hate Trump so much that you just cannot vote for him. But at that point, why would you just not vote? Just abstain from voting? It's so frustrating. TDS is so frustrating.
This show, right? And he started.
Yeah,
with you.
That
And
was
he
vote for me if you're
and
not
he started
black.
saying, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. You're all right. It was a stupid joke, but what a stupid thing to say.
That wasn't really. Yeah, and Charlemagne didn't push back at all when he said that. Said that straight to Charlemagne, and Charlemagne didn't say anything back to him. If Trump said that, oh, it would have been the most racist thing on earth. But Biden says that it's just no big deal.
And actually, how ironic that ever since he said it, the kind of black votes disappeared from him, right?
Is there
It
a
has.
candidate that could beat him? Do you think that there is a candidate that could beat Trump?
If I were the
Gavin Newsom.
Democrats, I would absolutely go for somebody like Newsom, right? Yes, he's progressive, but he's moved himself to the center very skillfully
Mhm.
in the last 6 months to a year. He's been to China and met President Xi. You think President Xi was going to meet the governor
I've never wanted to punch a man more than I do at this moment.
of California unless he thinks he might actually end up president one day? He looks like a president, right? He looks like someone that could run the country. He's articulate. He's intelligent. He's run one of the big.
He's a narcissistic psychopath that ruined San Francisco, and then he got into office as the king of California, and he's ruined California. And now you're arguing for him to ruin the United States because he's handsome and he has nice hair and he talks smoothly and can take statistics, spin them into a big pile of bullshit, throw them at affluent white liberal women, have them repeat these talking points like they're gospel. And he's an absolute gaslighting narcissist that lies through his teeth. And Pierce Morgan wants him to be your president.
biggest states in the country. I think he has a lot of things going for him. I don't necessarily agree with the more progressive stuff, but I think he himself has realized his pathway to running the Democrats and to potentially becoming president is to move more to the middle ground, right? And if he does that, and he's given a chance to do that, and that can be the options for America.
Why would anyone give Gavin Newsom a chance? San Francisco is one of the most iconic cities on earth. His policies directly led to the demise of San Francisco. California as a whole is one of the most iconic locations on earth. A bunch of different places in California. He's destroyed it with his policies. And now you have the audacity to say, if he's given a chance to move back towards center, sorry, Shelley, shut the fuck up, Pierce. You are out of your fucking mind. I cannot stand your stupid red coat mouth.
America between Trump and someone like Newsom, I think he's got a very good chance, a better chance than Biden.
Oh, that was frustrating. I wanted to punch him so much. Oh, I can't stand Pierce Morgan sometimes. All right, you know what? That is the end of that segment. Enough of that. So, all right, Supreme Court, open the border. Supreme Court's compromised, if you ask me. Northside, nice to see you, Radio Foreman. We got Jay Inslee in Seattle. Oh, you're up in Seattle? Oh man, my stepmom's up in Washington. She's over in Port Orchard. My brother's over in Tacoma. Let's see. Sorry, I'm a little lost here. The Gennaro, sorry. The opposition of the left and right is just an illusion. Noah Webster, in his essay on the revolution in France, will tell you the origins of the ideologies of what they are intended for. Okay. Can you? Oh, you know what? I think you attached it in the links there. If you could DM that to me, that'd be really cool. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, I'd like to read that. Let's see. Radio Foreman. Okay, I just read that. Bridget Youngblood. Also, if people change their principles to get voters, it's because they are inauthentic, i.e., a liar. Exactly. And Gavin has proven that he doesn't have any principles. Gavin will say whatever it takes to, like, he'll adopt any position if he thinks he can pull it off and he thinks it'll serve his purposes. So, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I said something. My positions are my positions because I've thought about them quite deeply, and I'm more than happy to have people try to change my view on positions, but I'm going to, even if they're controversial, I will argue my positions and why I think they're correct. Like, this is why, I mean, being a 2A absolutist in California isn't a huge vote getter. And I am. I believe that California should be a constitutional carry state. Like, everyone that wants to carry a firearm in California should be able to carry a firearm without telling anyone. No permit, no CCW, nothing. If you want to walk out your door with a firearm, you absolutely can. I believe that should be the case. That doesn't get me extra votes here in California, but I will argue my case. And I think it becomes a lot easier to argue that case now, with how, well, the cops can't protect us. Everybody realizes the cops can't protect us now, just especially if you're in Oakland, armed robberies, carjackings, cars getting broken into, all that stuff. Women and, not to be a dick, but like smaller men, if criminals, if they're going to rob somebody, they pick easy targets. People like women, elderly people, smaller, meeker looking men. If you fall under any of those descriptions, you should absolutely be carrying a firearm. You shouldn't be walking around telling everyone that you have a firearm. It's not to wave around. You should train with your firearm. You should know how to use it, all that stuff. But everyone should absolutely be carrying a firearm. Radio Foreman, do I consider myself a libertarian? I am the only California state Senate candidate running as a libertarian with the Libertarian Party. Yes, I've been a registered libertarian since 2015. Let's see. Northside, Newsom is the ideal man in a liberal woman's imagination. He's a psychopath. Not just liberal women, it's maddening. Swarmy, greasy-haired cocaine addict. Is he a cocaine addict? I often wonder. Casey Martin, we have constitutional carry. California's gun laws are illegal, unconstitutional. Well, that's a whole other conversation, isn't it? I agree. Newsom has the anti-Midas touch. It's funny. All right. You know what? Let's get into another segment here. Oh, yeah. I'm totally going to go longer than an hour, folks, because I've decided I put a show together now, and I just I go the whole way through. That's what's going to happen now. I'm going to do the whole show no matter what happens, no matter how long it takes. Okay, so this that's funny. I was talking about, was it last night I was talking about Alex Soros, or was it the night before that I was making fun of him and his stupid dad? Alexander Soros was up on stage at the World Economic Forum and just sounding like an absolute moron, because he was trying to spin his climate change ESG crap, and freaking it wasn't working well. Well, he's back in the news today, and this is from the Gateway Pundit. If you guys haven't seen, the Gateway Pundit recently did an article about me, and it made me very happy. Yeah, you guys should check it out. I should pull it up and read it. I haven't even done that on my show. I have an article from the Gateway Pundit about me that I haven't even read on the freaking show. That's funny. What a dummy. All right, let's see here. Okay, so I don't know if I'm buying it, but I mean, yeah, this does seem like a veiled threat to me. So Alex Soros tweets out bullet hole and $47, a direct violent threat to Donald Trump. This is an article by Jim Hoft. It's from today, I think. from yesterday. And it's from the Gateway Pundit. It says, that's the screenshots from I think it's from the AP, an article the AP put out. So he writes, they want him gone, no matter the cost. President Trump is up in the polls, and the Republican base is coalescing around him. DeSantis, his most formidable primary challenger, dropped from the race and endorsed President Trump on Sunday. The globalist elites are in panic. Trump is the greatest threat to their power over humanity in the civilized world. Something must be done. Alex Soros tweeted out an obvious threat against President Trump on Sunday evening. So Alex Soros is currently facing scrutiny due to his recent tweet sharing a post from the far left Atlantic. That's, it's about time these news outlets start getting called out for what they are. Everybody, Gateway Pundit gets called far right. Yeah, all these organizations should be called far left. Post from the far left Atlantic, not the AP, the Atlantic, sorry, that featured a bullet hole and a sum of $47. That is pretty nefarious. Let's see what the title of the article that they wrote was. But I mean, you show a bullet hole through glass, and then right next to it, you show money, and it's a total of $47. That's pretty nefarious. Okay. Last year, the crime and inflation crisis largely evaporated. So did the leading theories about what had caused them. The caption reads, Alex is the son of George Soros and the chair of the Open Society, the largest donor to Democrat politics. All right. So this is the tweet. And it says, yes, Alex Soros says, last year, the crime and inflation crisis largely evaporated. So did the leading theories about what had caused them. Okay. Yeah, this is just an article from the Atlantic. And this is how articles show up on Twitter now when you share them. It doesn't show up the same way that it used to. The title of the article is Gift Article, The Great Normalization. But I don't even know if Alexander Soros would have caught this. I would assume he would. But this does feel like a veiled threat from the Atlantic in these two pictures. The article is called The Great Normalization. Here, let's read the caption from the article. So it shows those of you that are just listening, it just shows a bullet hole through glass, and then a hand holding money, a 10, a 20, a 5, another 10, and 2 ones. So $47 cash. Here's an excerpt from the Atlantic. According to Gallup, 77% of Americans believe there is more crime in the U.S. than there was a year ago. Economic sentiment has begun to tick up, but there is still near the lowest levels on record. This may help explain Donald Trump's strength in electoral polls. A recent Wall Street Journal survey found that U.S. voters overwhelmingly believe that Trump will do a better job than Joe Biden when it comes to economy, 52% to 35%, inflation, 51% to 30%, and crime, 47% to 30%. Voters seem to be yearning for a return to normalcy of pre-pandemic times, and Trump is promising to give that to them. The absurdity of Trump as the normalcy candidate is almost too much to be clear, especially because the normalcy that voters are desperately craving is, in many ways, already here, and Biden helped deliver it. Oh, wow. Oh, man, this is straight Pravda. What the hell? How can you even be paid enough to write something like that? That is unreal. Okay, so the conservative Treehouse reported, Alex Soros, the son of George Soros, sends a message via his Twitter account that is troubling. Being subtle like a brick through a window, the billionaire leftist posts a picture of a bullet hole and $47. President Trump is going to be the 47th president. Yeah, I mean, it really is if you're to read this as charades, it's like a bullet would stop the 47th president. I mean, tinfoily, yeah, a little bit maybe, but this feels like a veiled threat to me. So what do you guys think? Let's see here. Let's see. Radio foreman, telling to say the least. That's also assuming all crimes are accounted for. Let's see, Northside, what do you think? Casey Martin, we have constables who carry California's gun laws are illegal. Okay, I already read that. What do you guys think? Does it seem like a veiled threat to you guys? It absolutely feels like a veiled threat to me. All right, let's see what Laura Loomer has to say about it. So this got Laura Loomer all worked up. So, I mean, she says pretty much the same thing. She says, Soros assassination threat against President Trump exposed. Additionally, further exposing how Alexander Soros just sent out a cryptic assassination hit on President Trump. John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. The $10 bill in the photograph next to the bullet says, I will pay the bearer on demand. The writing on the bill was replaced with In God We Trust in 1963. Okay, that's reading pretty far into it. Alex Soros and the Atlantic specifically used this old $10 bill to highlight the JFK assassination. Oh, interesting. Okay, they're saying let's go back to that. Let's look at the picture then. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go back to the picture. Okay, so let's see. The top $10 bill. Okay. Yeah, and notice how the other $10 bills flipped the other way. Wow, that's okay. Well, interesting. So, you guys catch that, right? So she's saying that they used an old $10 bill because, let's see, what did she say again? Additionally, further exposing how Alexander Soros just sent out a cryptic assassination hit on President. Oh, she's saying it's a hit, that she's putting out a hit on him. On President Trump, John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. The $10 bill in the photograph next to the bullet says, I will pay the bearer on demand. That writing on the bill was replaced with In God We Trust in 1963. The $10 bill in the photograph next to the bullet says, I will pay the bearer on demand. Okay, let me look. Now I want to look at that again. I can't zoom in. All right, I'm going to take her word for it. So she's saying that bill says, I will pay the bearer on demand. And then it was changed in 1963. So Alex Soros and the Atlantic specifically used the old $10 bill to highlight the JFK assassination. Man, she's reading into it even like just the total $47 next to a bullet hole. And then she's saying the top bill used was an old $10 bill. It's funny because there isn't a lot of, I don't know, but then now you're saying that they like took that picture specifically for this. I don't know. This is reading pretty heavily into it. It's getting a little tinfoily there, but I wouldn't put it past them. Alexander Hamilton pistol duel with Alan Burr. Okay, hold on. Sorry, let me go back. In fact, all the paper currency in this photo is associated with political assassination. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Alexander Hamilton pistol duel with Aaron Burr. Andrew Jackson was the president to have was the first president to have an assassination attempt against him in 1835. The two $1 bills are silver certificates. The silver is referring to the Kennedy being on the silver coin as well as the silver bullet. Okay, come on. You're getting, oh man, yeah, they are getting way into the coded messages here now. The bills show as followed. 10-02-50111. The fourth bill is a 10 upside down. That spells net. So the offer is, oh crap. Okay. She's saying that this is a hit, that Alexander put out a hit. Okay, so Laura Loomer saying that Alexander Soros and the Atlantic just put out a hit on Donald Trump for the total of $100 million. Is that correct? Am I 9 figures? 100, 250, 111. Is that $100 million? Yeah, is that correct? Jeez, like my brain can't even count that high because I'm so dumb. But that's what she's saying. She's saying that Alexander Soros and the Atlantic put out a hit. That's what this thing is a hit. Not just like a cryptic message like the Gateway Pundit was saying. Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what Laura Loomer was getting at here. She was just saying it was more of a cryptic message. She's saying this is a straight up hit, saying this is the total money too. $100 million. Okay. Oh, wow. I mean, a lot of people are saying, they will stop at nothing to keep Trump from getting into office, and they are trying everything, and it looks like everything's failing. There's only one thing left to do at the end of the road, and a lot of people are thinking that same thing. So I don't know. I'm not saying I'm buying what Laura Loomer's saying here, but I won't discount it. I won't throw it out. Like, man, that's that's pretty wild, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did the Atlantic just put out a hit on Donald Trump? Is that what they just did right now? Let's see. Gotta go way back here. Radio foreman, he's just trying to impress his daddy. Twitter's destroying our society. Yeah, reading way too deep into it. Yeah, it's reading pretty deep into it, but I mean, at the same time, you know how all these crazy elites are with their cryptic symbols and their secret societies and crap. One of the things of that I just learned this about Satanism, the freaking Satanists. You know about the Satanists have to tell everyone what they're doing. They have to tell everybody that they are Satanists, like through symbols and all that kind of crap. So you remember the article too that was it Time Magazine, the secret what was it? The secret shadow campaign to fortify the 2020 election to save democracy or some crap like that. You guys remember that? That whole thing, when you read it, it read like a confession letter of how they colluded to suppress information and sway public opinion around the 2020 election. And that was before all the Twitter file stuff came out. So I wouldn't put all this cryptic stuff past it. Anyway, that's what Laura Loomer's thinking. Laura Loomer thinks that Soros and the Atlantic just put out a hit. So I don't know. I won't say that's the case, but certainly would be interesting, wouldn't it? All right, let's continue. All right, let's get into some J6 stuff. So this came out today, and I found it fairly interesting. Let's see. Sorry, Casey Martin. Pappy became CIA director later, and then POTUS, and then Dubai was POTUS. Wait, what was that? Northside. Oh, okay. You guys are Northside and Casey. I think you guys are chatting amongst each other. Let's see here. All right, let's go over to Colin Rugg. Talk about some J6 stuff right quick. So it appears that a bunch of footage was deleted. It appears. So this is from Colin Rugg, just in the House January 6th the House January 6th committee deleted 100 plus encrypted files just days before Republicans gained the majority, according to Fox News. Republican Representative Barry Loudermilk, what an unfortunate name, who is leading an investigation into the security failures of J6, was supposed to receive 4 terabytes of archived data. He only received 2 terabytes, according to Fox sources. Okay, that's a lot of data. According to a forensic team, 117 files were deleted and encrypted on January 1st, 2023, just days before Loudermilk. What's his name, man? That's just It's hard to say without laughing. Was supposed to receive all files. As you acknowledged in your July 7, 2023 letter, the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol did not archive all committee records as required by House rules. Laudermilk wrote to former chair rep Benny Thompson, Democrat. You wrote that you sent specific transcribed interviews with depositions to the White House and the Department of Homeland Security, but did not archive them with the clerk of the House. The below video shows Jacob Chansley telling protesters to go home and to be respectful. So yeah, we'll play this video. Just if you guys haven't seen it, but I mean, it doesn't really pertain to what Colin Rudd was talking about, but we'll just watch the video.
We're going to obey our president. We're going to do as he asks. Respect the landmarks. Respect the Capitol.
I mean, that everybody should be very clear. He was like the face of the insurrection. It's very clear right there. Nope. Telling everybody to go home. He had to do solitary confinement. Still people doing solitary confinement. Oh, the J6 stuff is so frustrating. All right. One of the things that everybody forgets about, that I forget about all the time. I always, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that all the time. The pipe bomb. You guys remember the pipe bomb on J6? Who planted the pipe bomb? Remember all the talk about the pipe bomb? All the footage that we never saw regarding the pipe bomb? Well, Massey came. Sorry, my dog's drinking water. Yeah. She doesn't drink water like all day. Like all day. She never drinks water. She just waits for the show to start until she drinks water. Anyway. All right. Sorry. Below, courtesy of Thomas Massey, is the most damning and explosive J6 footage yet. In my view, this will end up demolishing the regime's J6 narrative with a major pillar of Dems' 2024 strategy. Are you paying attention yet? Okay, this is a 7-minute video, and I still don't. I should probably should watch this all the way. I don't know what I'm looking at. So where was the pipe bomb set? Oh, okay. Never mind. You see the dude walk over by the truck and he's got a backpack in his hand. Actually, it looks like he's talking to whoever's in the driver's seat of the truck. And then he's walking away, and it doesn't look like he has the backpack anymore. Okay. So I don't know. I'll watch this footage again and get back to you guys on it. But it looks like Massey seems to think that he figured out who planted the pipe bomb, and he seems to be suggesting that it looks like it was like an inside thing. That's what everybody else seems to be implying too. How could you not know who planted a pipe bomb with all the security footage around the building? Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, just remember, J6 couldn't have been better for Democrats. For not I should stop saying Democrats, because it's the deep state, the uniparty, the cathedral, all that. It couldn't have been better for them, because all of the precedent that it's set, kind of like 9/11 and the Patriot Act and all that, all the stuff that they're able to do after that, J6 is very similar. So this is from my boy Kiki, Kiki's knees, over on Twitter here. Important. Dems Ed Markley and David Raskin file a bill. Dems Ed Markley and Jamie Raskin file a bill aimed to stop private paramilitary activity. And how do they define private paramilitary activity? Patrolling a neighborhood. So that would be defined as paramilitary activity. So if you got a neighborhood watch, that would be paramilitary activity. They're really trying to crack down on just, they're using all this J6 stuff as precedent for super government overreach of all sorts of things. And it's frustrating. Yeah, I'm going to end up going way over, aren't I? All right, that's enough of the J6 stuff. But it looks like they deleted a bunch of footage before they handed it all over. This radio foreman pipe bomb turned out to belong to a junkie. Did it. Yeah, J6 was nothing. J6 is entirely Casey Martin. J6 in its entirety was an inside uniparty job. I tend to agree. Yeah, I 100% tend to agree. All right, let's continue here. All right. You know what? This will be the last segment that I'll get into here because, yeah, I don't want to go more than an hour, and I'll save some stuff for tomorrow night. But you had all these guys marching around again, and it's your favorite people. You guys like Patriot Front, right? You guys think they're real? You guys think they're legit? Let's see. So they're marching around in New York. Nobody ever sees these guys arrive or leave. That's the thing. That's what I want to see. Is I want to see them arrive, drive away, and yeah, that's what I want to see because yeah, they really FBI really does seem like the most logical explanation for this crap. Anyway, they're marching around in New York. Let's watch the video. These weird flags that they got here. That one. Yeah, those. Like what are these weird flags that they made? They're all fairly fit. They're all wearing, it's funny, they're wearing khakis and blue, like FBI colors. But yeah, everybody says they think these are feds. Just marching around, causing a scene, not being over the top or anything like that, but yeah, they absolutely seem like feds. Then you got these blood tribe guys too, don't forget about them that go all over the top. But this was a new element to the Patriot Front boys. Patriot Front got themselves a front man. So did you guys see this dude here?
New York has been in the news quite a bit lately. Around 300 communists tried to shut down all the bridges around Manhattan this month to advocate for Palestine along the continued communist goals of turning this country into a collage of brown-black slums in which everyone is perfectly equal in their squalor. And it was also revealed that a bunch of Jews were literally undermining our country with a network of tunnels under Brooklyn. I don't know what exactly they were doing under there, but if it had to be done in a secret and illegal tunnel system, I can guarantee it was despicable. Even stranger, a bunch of people came out to defend the practices of this religious micro-minority in our country that is so vastly overrepresented in positions of power. The point of the matter is that our politics, especially the politics of America's largest city, are almost exclusive.
I'm done listening to him talk. This feels like such a freaking psyop. Just the whole look too. Just yeah, it feels like a psyop to sow division. Nothing more. That's all this feels like. I'm not going to say definitively these guys are feds, but it sure feels that way. It just sure feels like a government psyop to sow division. Yeah, That's all it feels like to me. All right. You know what? Enough of that. Yeah. All right. That's all we're going to get into tonight, folks. That, I think, is going to be it. Yeah. Let's check back within the chat really quick. See what else we got. Casey Martin. Yeah, they came here in a U-Haul under police escort. You've seen those videos too. Casey, I'm sorry, that was Northside. Casey Martin, 100% feds. Yeah, everybody seems to be in agreement on that. Everybody thinks they're feds. I mean, I'm not going to say they're all feds, but why would anybody associate with that group at all? I mean, everybody thinks they're feds, first of all, right off the bat. Who would want to go associate with that group? It's such a psyop. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Those guys are annoying as hell too. All right, folks. I think that is all we're going to get into tonight. But before we get out of here, you know how we do it. We got to read a joke from the greatest book ever written, The Truth About Chuck Norris. Northside, Casey Martin, Go Cheese Millennial, V1800. What else we got here? Radio Foreman. Let's see. Bridget. Gennaro. All you guys, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. 6079. All you guys, thanks for having out. Provo. All right. All right. Let's see. What joke do we got tonight, guys? Hopefully it's something good here. I read that one before. Man. I'm getting to the point. We're on episode 113 now. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to see jokes that I've read before already. Interesting. Lots of episodes. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the Chuck Norris joke of the evening. And I will see you again tomorrow night, 6:30. I'll be back at my normal time tomorrow. All right, here we go. Chuck Norris never loses a rock, paper, scissors because he never plays rock, paper, scissors. He plays rock, paper, scissors roundhouse kick. Chuck Norris never loses at rock, paper, scissors roundhouse kick. And on that note, stay CaliBased.